Welcome to the Spelunky School of Archaeologizing Things, where you learn to treasure hunt if you like it or not. I'm ArmoredChocobo, and if you're seeing this video, it means it's 2014, and it's a brand new year, for brand new stuff. And I'm going to try a different kind of update this time, and I'm going to play a game while I do it. Mainly because I don't have a lot of pictures that I want to use this time. I figured I'd try something new, some of this, what do the kids call it, streaming nowadays? You should know about some of the treasures that are coming in 2014, as I grab treasure right now. Yeah, you know treasures. Like Lamalana II, I mean. And also Mother 4 is coming out this year as well. Much later this year. As for Lamalana II, Nigoro hasn't really been forthcoming with enough of the information yet on it, but they said they're going to release something January the 16th on their website for Lamalana. Actually, they're going to update a webpage for Lamalana II, so you'll find it there, I guess. But we don't know much until then. What I do know is that our protagonist is supposed to be female this time around. It's going to be the daughter of Lameza. And she's going to do archaeology for us, and with us, and sometimes against us. Against our will. But, she's nice and all, but I'd like to know what Lameza's up to. Some of my ideas for Lamalana II, since we don't know anything else, I was thinking maybe the female protagonist, or Lameza you could play as. I have nothing against female protagonists at all. It's just that Lameza seems to have some unfinished business with Lamalana. We all know what Lamalana II is going to be about. It's going to involve the power of the mother somehow. The title even says the 0th body and the 9th spirit. It's got to have to do with the power. And we know Shorn has the power. What he's going to do with it, we have no idea. But if he's anything like Lameza, he'd probably sell it. But he might mess with it too. It is the power of the mother. Maybe he'll do experiments with it, trying to prove where mankind came from. But if he sells it, if he messes with it, or maybe it just becomes self-aware on its own, it's bad. It's a bad idea. Obviously, we wouldn't have a game if it was actually a good idea. Also, from some of the gameplay screenshots I've seen, there's going to be new dungeons. Like, there's, looks like a Japanese-style lunar temple with moon rabbits all over the place. It's kind of a rabbit-themed temple. You know the Japanese, they like their moon rabbits. We're gonna have more culture themes, obviously. Nigoro likes that kind of archaeology. Also, where's that darn key at? Ah! I had a different idea besides playing as either-or. Maybe you could play as Lameza and his kid in like a tag team. Kind of like Maze of Gallius. Yeah. Remember I said Lamalana has a lot of similarities to the Maze of Gallius. Nigoro intended that. And maybe each of the characters have their own powers. If you don't know much about the Maze of Gallius, you play two characters, Popolone and Aphrodite. Popolone was pretty much your power character. He breaked blocks the fastest, he did the most damage. I think some weapons were exclusive to him. Aphrodite, she was more mobility, she could jump higher, she could endure water and lava a little bit better. So maybe I'm hoping for something like that, where you could actually play as both of them. Imagine the puzzles with that. You could even add twice as many sacred crystals, because you could level up their HP bars independently. And that would be cool. You have so many puzzle possibilities when you add two players into the group. I'm bad at Spelunky. So that's it for Lamalana II. I hope it becomes more like the Maze of Gallius. That would be excellent. I actually enjoy that idea. Let's move on to Mother 4, coming near the end of the year. We don't know much about that either. They've been staying quite quiet about it. They haven't given us an update since the teaser in, like, April or something like that. April or August. I remember an A month. But as far as we know, it has something to do with the modern men, and they're doing bad things to good people. So, might as well put some of my theory to work there. I think it might be a alternate reality kind of situation. In Earthbound 0, we had toured the continent, like going through America, or at least Earthbound America, and looking at all the cities and exploring and just learning some general stuff about friendship and all that. And then Earthbound took it bigger and you explored the world, and you went to different continents and you talked to people there, and you did adventures for them as well, all the while collecting melodies. And then Mother 3 had more of a time vibe to it, because you start out in rural Tasmily, and then all of a sudden Porky pokes his future pork nose where it doesn't belong, because he got evicted from all the other time zones. And we all find out it's supposed to be the future's past, instead of the past's future. I'm thinking Mother 4 will be kind of like a light world, dark world. They had those slime spires that they've been referencing in the teaser. Maybe they're portals to between these worlds, and it's kind of like Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. You go between them, and you have to do adventures in both worlds. And the modern men are obviously from this dark world, with all these slime things. Maybe they're obsessed with technology, kind of like the pig masks, but a little bit more malicious and hopefully a little bit less dumb. I mean, at least some comic relief in there, but otherwise, be at least a little bit more competent. They seem more competent with all the cybernetic attachments they've got. So that's the games that are coming up that I'm excited about, at least. I haven't heard of any other things that got me excited as Lamalana II and Mother 4. So let's move on to my Let's Play ideas for next year. Or this year. I should call it this year now. You'll be watching it in this year. I'm sorry, I'm doing this from the past, so I could tell your future about the present. I don't need to grab that. Let's Plays. I do want to do my Return to Cave Story thing, but it ain't going to be Cave Story Plus. No, I have some issues with Nicalis. First of all, they kinda turned their back on Lamalana when they needed them the most, aka getting an American release. But also, they did some bad translation work with the Cave Story Plus, especially when Balrog's involved. Everyone remembers Balrog, or at least my Let's Play veterans know about Balrog. He goes huzzah when he does things, like Deceased Crab. That's actually where Deceased Crab got it from. And Nicalis changed that to oh yeah. As in oh yeah, like the Kool-Aid Man. Like Kool-Aidio, the Kool-Aid Wizrobe. Except with a lot less Cthulhu creature. I don't approve of that. Balrog is always huzzah to me. He huzzahs everywhere. That's not right, Nicalis. That's bad. So I want to go with the original Cave Story idea, which would be the one that's translated by Shih Tzu. Yeah, I always like Shih Tzu stuff. Always so excellent. Also, what other ideas? Oh yeah, my first foray into high graphics gaming. I definitely want to do a Let's Play on a certain game that belongs to the PlayStation 2 and has a lot to do with psychic powers. They use psychic powers for everything. They just psychic it up. That's all I'm giving you. That's all the reference you deserve. You'll figure it out from there, I'm sure. And also, I want to do another game from Treasure, because I like Treasure. They made Dynamite Heady, and they also fill my pockets with valuable money. Just like in this game, I'm collecting lots of that game company. And then I die terrible deaths. So, that's all the references you get for my Let's Play. I hope you're enjoying your 2014, or how many hours you're into that year now. But, I'll see you next time with the continuation and finishing of Beyond Oasis. And then we'll see where the day takes us. I'm ArmoredChocobo. You enjoy your year. Good night, folks.